Do you wave your terrible towel when Renegade plays? Reach for a tasty cake when JJ shouts, "He scores!" Does the sound of an F1 engine make your heart race? Doing push-ups with the Nittany Lion after a TD? Then lend us football, the excitement of Flyers hockey, the nail-biting finishes of F1, and the pride when we yell, "We are Penn State." Welcome to the SteelFlyers Show, the strangest combination of sports fandom since pineapple was put on pizza.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SteelFlyers All Sports Network, the SteelFlyers Podcast. How are you all doing today? Oh my gosh, we are super excited to be here. We are here with executive producer and co-host Ronice. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. We're ready to go. It's that favorite time of year. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Almost.
Almost. We're almost there. Almost there. Almost there. A few more sleeps. A few more sleeps, and it'll be football. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's right. That's the headline for this show. That's right. I believe we're on season 3, episode 3, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
But how about this one here for you folks? Steelers training camp in Latrobe is just around the corner, and we are beyond excited.
Yes, very much. Because it's going to be a very interesting year, is it not?
Oh my goodness gracious. With exactly what you just said, it's going to be an interesting year, no matter how you slice it. First of all, let's just start off with the fact that new offensive coordinator and Arthur Smith
Okay.
from the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
So that means all new offensive scheme. Now, this guy has been with the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry led the league in the 2 years that he was there in rushing, and so the guy knows how to run the football.
Exactly.
And with the line now looking a little bit more beefed up.
And no more Kenny Pickett.
Well, no, wait, we're getting to that here now. Just
Okay. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
You're jumping guns here now. Hold the phone, Central. All right. So, yeah, we're going to get into that here in a second. But I wanted to first say that a new offensive coordinator. So let's start off with that.
Okay,
right?
yes.
Okay, so new offensive coordinator. I think it's going to bode well for Najee Harris. I think it's going to bode well for the entire running backs room.
I hope so.
I think it's going to bode well for the offense. Looking forward to seeing what they got. Also looking forward to defense and seeing everybody coming back healthy. Oh! It's going to be nice seeing Cam Hayward walking down the gangplank healthy and ready to rock.
Yes.
It's going to be nice seeing TJ coming down the gangplank healthy and ready to rock.
I hope he can stay healthy all season.
And Alex Highsmith and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, what? Okay. I get it. I know. I'm a little bit overly excited here, so we're going to start getting into some things here. So let's start talking about one thing here, first of all. I would like to say a huge thank you to all of you folks out there for all of your support, for your subscriptions, for your likes, for the visits, the clicks, and all the things that you out there have done to help support SteelFlyers All Sports Network. The website has grown in leaps and bounds as far as numbers-wise. It's just been amazingly incredible how many clicks and views and reads that we get on the website. So by all means, thank you all so very much for hopping over to the SteelFlyers.com website and for just all your support, all of your viewership and everything like that, man. We couldn't do it without you guys, and we really appreciate it all the way up and down. So thank you very much. Also, big props and thanks to Lance Green, the editor-in-chief of SteelFlyers All Sports Network. He's the main man, pots and pans. Big props to him for what he does for the writing of the articles and all the great stuff he does with Prospect Watch. He gets the guys, and I produce the shows. And I'll tell you what, we're doing really good there with the Prospect Watch. So thank you all very much for tuning in and checking that out. So we really appreciate that. Really appreciate all the support we get from Hockey Writers Inc., our Philadelphia Flyer-centric podcast. We really appreciate all the support from there. We are in the top 10 of all Philadelphia Flyers podcasts for the Hockey Writers Inc. That is 3 years in a row now that we have been in the top 15. This year we are number 10.
Nice.
Whoa, we've moved up. So, thank you all so very much. By the way, go to all your podcasting platforms and go check us out, SteelFlyers Podcast, and you can check out all the other great shows that we do at SteelFlyers All Sports Network, from Prospect Watch to the Nittany Report to this year's show, SteelFlyers Podcast, and also to Hockey Writers Inc. So be sure to go check that out, and also check out all the great articles from the great Lance Green. So, all right, here we go. Now that we, got all the pleasantries out of the way.
Exactly.
Let's hop into some fun. Okay, starting July 24th, the veterans and the rookies report to camp in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. They're back!
What?
After
I can't hear no more.
after they were there last year, and they prevented them the when we were coming out of COVID, they still prevented them from being up there in Latrobe, even though everybody else was in their training camps. Pittsburgh was not. So they were there last year, and they are there this year. And so, very excited, very, very excited about this new draft class coming in here with what Omar has done, the free agency that's happened, and everything that's the turnover, the roster turnover, the coaching room turnover, the quarterback room turnover, the holy moly, is this the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Can't be.
It surely is. So, now that all the players are going to report here on the 24th, and bodies are going to start banging relatively quickly within 2 days, I believe is going to be the first padded practice. Be Friday night lights, I believe, and well, we all know how Mike Tomlin likes to, rile the crowd with backs on backers, and I have a feeling that this Friday will be exactly true to form with Mr. Tomlin.
Yeah, we'll see how he does this year. He did get a contract extension, correct?
Mike Tomlin was offered a contract extension. He signed it for the next 3 years. That makes him the coach approaching the year 2030. So that keeps him in Pittsburgh for a number of years to come.
Yes.
At least until 2027, I believe. He has one more. He has this year, and then the 3-year extension. So that's 2028, right? So
right.
I said it was close to 2030. What?
Top Gear math.
Yeah, Top Gear math, 2028. That's close enough to 2030. So Mike gets a contract extension, and well, I don't know.
We'll see.
I really felt that there was some hot seats that needed to happen. And not enough hot seats happened as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the major one did, so at least we did that. At least that's been changed.
Okay, but there's some other. There was just okay. Let's see how it is. I mean, they're obviously giving him the benefit of the doubt, and so therefore I will do the same, even though my opinion is different. It doesn't really matter. I just get to, sit here and watch and revel in what happens. You know what I mean? And I get to throw it all back to you folks here and what happened. So there you go.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that happened.
Okay.
I mean, some of the things that's happened in this off season has been drastic. Would you say?
Yes.
I mean, your entire quarterback room is not even the same as it was less than a calendar year ago. I mean, the same guys that were on the roster that finished the season are not even close to the same guys that are on the roster now.
Right.
Whoa.
Not even close.
And you drafted one guy in the first round. Like in the, top 20? Right?
Yeah.
A quarterback? You picked Kenny. Okay. Apparently he was worthy of a trade to Philadelphia for, a second-round pick?
He requested the trade.
Well, okay. Mason Rudolph came in, mopped up, and he flew the coop to the Tennessee Titans, where he signed a 1 or 2 year deal, I think, for $10 million. I think it's a 2-year deal. I think he signed for $10 million. Which, hey man, congrats, man. Good luck. I hope you do well. I would have liked to have seen him stay here in Pittsburgh, but hey man, it is what it is.
Well, I think he got
shafted.
I wasn't
Posed? Foobarred? I mean, what? Did I cover what you were thinking?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay, all right. However, with that being said, the room has changed significantly to a Super Bowl winning, MVP winning quarterback in Russell Wilson, who in the last 3 seasons, albeit with Denver, let's see, threw 49 touchdowns, which blows the doors.
I was going to say, how long has it been since we've had that?
Well, okay, so look, let's go with Top Gear math then, and we'll say 50 touchdowns in 3 years. How many touchdowns is that per year?
Right.
Right? That's at least more than 6.
Yes.
Okay? And the guy's got, a couple thousand yards a year. His completion percentage is like 63%. I mean, for being as old as he is, 34, we've had worse quarterbacks back there. We got Russell Wilson, I'm not kidding you, for the league minimum for a veteran, which is like $1 million or something, 1.5 million.
Okay, but how long's he been playing?
No, wait, hold on. He was bought out by Denver, so they paid him $39 million to not play for Denver, and we're paying him $1 million to play for the Steelers. Okay, $40 million quarterback playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Holy moly!
Again, how long's he been playing?
He's 34.
Okay.
He's been playing for a while.
I know, but my point was that the best thing they could do?
Well, given the market and everything else like that, and then wait, hold on, it gets even shinier because for a paltry 6th round pick, they got Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears.
Okay, can I ask a question? Can I have some of whoever's making these decisions for quarterbacks? I have some of that, please? Because apparently it makes everything fuzzy.
Or something.
Or makes everything seem better than they actually are.
Some loco weed must have gotten mixed in with his feed.
Thanks, Colonel Potter.
But...
Okay, I don't understand. We went through the exact same thing with Mitch Trubisky, did we not? Played for the Bears, didn't do well. Went somewhere else, didn't do well.
So you're relying on the Bears
Why? Why are we doing that?
You're relying on the Bears' evaluation of talent for yet another first-round quarterback that they were willing to trade away
for a 6th-round pick.
For a 6th-round pick to you to be your backup. Okie dokie. Well, let's see how we ride. Because this is how we gonna fly this year, and then there you go. Oh boy. Help.
I mean, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're shocked. Maybe it'll all be great. Maybe we'll get some of that lovely happiness glasses that they wear.
I'm a scared. Like, I'm seriously a scared. Because if anything, I mean, like what we saw with the Jets last year, if that happens to the Steelers, I mean, it's gonna be a long year. I don't care how good Najee is. I don't care how good Jaylen Warren is. I don't care how good the offensive line is. But I just have not seen a good enough body of work from Justin Fields to get the warm and fuzzies about him being the second-string quarterback. Okay, well, so there's another difference of opinion there, I guess I have. And well, I hate to say this, but I've been proven relatively right over the years with some of my, well, you know, hey, I just sit back here, and that's why I'm on this side of the microphone, and he's on that side, on the field, and blowing the whistle, and making the decisions, and hoisting Lombardi trophies. Mm-hmm. Signing 3-year extensions.
By the way,
doom scratcher on that one, but okay.
By the way, I'd like to mention that Mitch Trubisky is now playing for the Buffalo Bills.
Back again. Went and re-signed back with the Bills. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then Mason Rudolph is the one that went to the Titans.
That's what I said. Mason Rudolph.
I'm sorry.
No. I said Mason Rudolph went to the Titans. He signed a 2-year deal, I think, for $10 million, and Trubisky did the same thing, I think, in Buffalo for kind of the same money. Right, which is where he was before he came to the Steelers. It was like, okay, I mean, okay. So this is what the room got. Okay, I'm interested to see what's going to happen in camp this year. Who's going to stand out? Is the offensive line going to stand out, or is the defensive line going to stand out? Are we going to get more talk about the linebackers, or are we going to get more talk about the running backs? Are we going to see what this defensive backfield is up against the revamped wide receiver room now that, Deontay Johnson is gone and everything else like that? I mean, Carl, Pickens is now the main man, pots and pans.
I mean,
and there's a whole host of other guys that, Calvin Austin might see some more time, and some of the other players that the Steelers were able to pick up, and they're still even trying to get Brandon Ayuk from 49ers. So, there's a lot of rumors swirling around about that. But, look, regardless of who you throw the ball to, you got to have a guy that can throw the ball. I'm confident in Russell Wilson. I'm utterly thrilled to have Russell Wilson on the Pittsburgh Steelers. When he was coming out of the draft, he was like, oh, man, can he please come to Pittsburgh and play?
Well, now you got your wish.
Okay, yeah, I would have much rather had him 12 years ago, but he would have been I don't know. We still were in the throes of Ben Roethlisberger at that time, and so, it's one of those things, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to have seen him come and play in Pittsburgh when he was young and in his prime. Maybe he's in his prime now because everything that I've seen about him looks really good. So, all right. Really excited about training camp. We really can't wait to see things get started. And I'm really excited how things are going to roll here for things this season. So be looking forward to the Steelers this coming season, and be looking forward to training camp, and be looking forward to more regular reports on what's going on down there from training camp here from the SteelFlyers All Sports Network.
Wait, I have a question.
Now that things are getting rolling along.
I have a question for you. So, our rookies that we've signed, are they going to see time this year?
We might see one or two of them that'll probably see time.
Okay.
Might see one or two of them. You know what I mean? I really do, at least on the offensive line side of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm excited to see about this year. That's why I was curious to see how how that's all going to pan out, how the offensive line is going to pan out against the defensive line. Are we going to hear more good things about the offensive line or more good things about the defensive line?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Based off of the draft and the rookies and second-year players and things of that nature. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to here. And so, but yeah, good question. All right. So, now it's the Steelers getting ready to go to training camp. We are deep into the mix of Formula One racing. And let me tell you something, folks. What an exciting season it has been. I mean, with the fact that Verstappen's got like a crap load of point lead.
Well,
But we've had 7 different winners in 12 races. So, I mean, I got to tell you, that's pretty exciting.
That is pretty exciting.
I mean, at least you're not seeing the same guy endlessly winning over and over again,
Well.
I mean, sort of. I mean, Verstappen cranked off the first 4 wins and then has just continued to finish on the podium in most of the other races. If he wasn't first, he was second or third.
He was there. He's been there the whole time.
The whole time, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's the other thing, too. Consistently playing really well and having a good car and driving well. And however, in the previous Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton finally wins a race.
How long's it been since he'd won a race, It's been a while.
Yeah, like 957 days.
Days.
Yeah, they narrowed it down. It was like a couple of years since he had won a race. I think his last race that he had won was in 2001 or something like that. So he wins the British Grand Prix.
If you're gonna win, you might as well win the home one.
I mean, yeah, you might as well win your home track. So there you go. Congratulations to.
Yes, it was December 5th, 2021.
Like I said, 957 days it was, or something crazy like that. 3 years or whatever, right? So okay, all right, we got you on that, Lewis. Congratulations on your win for the British Grand Prix. With the Hungarian Grand Prix that just finished up here, quite the interesting race where Verstappen and Hamilton were battling it out, and Verstappen kind of took a corner a little tighter and kind of both steered into each other, and Verstappen's car was jacked into the air multiple feet and landed hard.
Ooh.
Because I'm
looking at the picture.
When you hit tire, right? When you hit tire to tire in a Formula One car, it automatically launches your car, one of the cars.
Right.
Right. It doesn't, So, and it launched Verstappen's car. His back end of his car was up, quite a bit, and then landed real hard coming down. But he continued on the race and finished. I believe there was going to be a penalty to him for causing a collision there. So I believe that's going to probably cost him a position there, which means he's going to lose out some points in the race that just happened here for the Hungarian Grand Prix by doing that, running there through Hamilton. But hey, congratulations to Oscar Piastri from McLaren, his first race victory.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was contended a little bit because Team Orders was straight from the top to Lando Norris, who had over a 5-second gap to Piastri, and there was a lot of talk on the radio back and forth with management to Lando Norris going, hey man, do the right thing, hey man, do the right thing, you gotta move over, it's Team Orders, blah, 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 blah. And 2 laps from the end, Lando Norris pulled to the side to allow Oscar Piastri to go ahead and therefore win his first race. So, okay, heck of a way to finish that race. Quite dramatic there with the speaking of the radio there to all of the world to hear and see.
Yes, that's the bad part is, we all get to hear that now, and it's like, we know what you're doing, dude.
and Lando's like, well, tell him to catch up. Like, that's what he said. He's like, what, a 5-second gap? What? Tell him to catch up, And that just wasn't happening. And so then he was able to do so. But McLaren get a 1-2 finish in the Hungarian Grand Prix, and in their fight with Ferrari, and for second place in the constructors, and then also Norris now takes a command second in the drivers' championship as well. But I got to tell you, man, that helps McLaren get to second place now over Ferrari with the 1-2 finish, with Ferrari finishing 4th and 6th on the Hungarian Grand Prix. That's still good points.
It's all about points, man. More points.
But it's not 25 and 18. Okay, you know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what you need. And one more race before we have the commanded summer break. They take pretty much most of or all of the month of August off, where they're not even allowed to be in the factory. None of the employees.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, they're not allowed in the factories or nothing. I believe it's like 3 or 4 days before the end of the official break is when they're allowed to start coming back or something stupid like that.
Okay.
But yeah, they take a 1-month break, mandatory 1-month break for August. But we get one more race before the break, and wait for it, Spa-Francorchamps is the race before the break. And that's one of the favorites on the calendar.
For those who are now deaf, Spa-Francorchamps.
Yes, the Belgian Grand Prix. One of the best tracks in all of Formula One, with some of the best turns and the longest straights and some of the fastest speeds. And it's also a very exciting race all the way around.
It's a good one to do right before the end of the
break.
Right before the break, yeah.
Exactly. So, looking forward to seeing how that's going to happen. Ferrari definitely stepped it up with their improvements at the Hungarian Grand Prix. So, looking to see how they're going to keep going here as improvements keep coming for the Ferrari team. So, looking forward to that. All right. Well, there you go, man. Ferrari is deep into it, and we got to get into this. We got to talk about this. We got to talk about the elephant in the room here, folks.
Well,
And we're talking about ours, mine and yours, Philadelphia Flyers. That's right, folks. The draft, the free agency, all have taken place here for the Philadelphia Flyers. They are they've had development camp as well. And we're, let's see, about 2 months away from training camp. Okay? Training camp start right around September 25th, something like that, or maybe a little sooner, like 18th, or something like that is when training camp will start. However, I got to tell you here, so with the draft, as you can see on the screen there's the first couple of rounds of picks there for the Philadelphia Flyers. Go to YouTube and check out the live stream that Lance and I did for the Hockey Writers Inc. We were live for the first round of the draft. We covered the entire first round, the entire whole thing. Go check that out, man. Really appreciate that. And also, go check out Lance's latest, or his article there on his draft, his mock draft, which is another show that we did as well. So you got to check that out too, that Lance's mock draft. Our selection was Cole Eiserman. They had the opportunity to select him. When pick 12 came, the Philadelphia Flyers decided to not get up from the table and go make an announcement, but decided to trade their pick to the Minnesota Wild for the 13th pick, of which they then selected Jet Luchenko. All right.
Okay.
There was a number of players on the board that they could have selected, Cole Eiserman being one of them. They tried to garner the 4th overall pick from Columbus Blue Jackets, but didn't pull the trigger because they weren't willing enough to spend what Columbus wanted to get Ivan Demidov, who was Mitch Koff's line mate. You didn't do that. You stockpiled now another first-round pick. You kicked the can down the road with the Claude Giroux pick that we were supposed to get, which would have been pick number 32 in the first round of this year, because Florida, won the cup. So that was the last pick, and we traded that to Edmonton for the Edmonton's first-round pick in 2025. We still have not recouped all of the Claude Giroux trade as of yet. And that, to me, is you had an opportunity to pick in the first round again this year, and you tossed it to next year. And Lance and I have done a lot of looking and studying. We've interviewed some great talent. We know that the 2025 is going to be a great draft, but this year was a really good draft for playmakers, for scorers, for finishers, for offensive guys that are bigger than 5'8", that can put the biscuit in the basket, and you fail to pick some of those types of players, in my opinion. So we will see how things work out for the Flyers with their draft picks. And then also we'll see how things work out with the draft picks that they've got from last year. How are they going to go? How are the picks going to go from the previous years? And how are we going to see in training camp? This is going to be Tortorella's 3rd year, and I'm overly excited about what's going to happen this year. I'm really seeing the rebuild that's happening here, but And I've been, for the most part, very happy with what Danny Briere has done for this team and the direction that him and Keith Jones have gone. But I've also had some dome scratchers here where I don't understand the draft. In the last 2 years, you've had opportunities to select players that could be exactly the types of players that you need. But instead, you continue to draft players like Sean Couturier. Why are you doing that? And then you wonder why, hey, we don't have any offense. We can't put the puck in the net. Well, that's why. Because you keep getting the same types of players over and over and over again. And then you keep trying to plug them in and making them things that they're not. And anyway, that's okay. I'm done.
Okay.
But some good things. Very happy to see Bobby Brink signed his tenured offer to return for the Flyers. I really felt that he took a huge step last year. He didn't play in all of the Flyers games, but he did play in a significant amount. And then going back down to the Phantoms and then playing with them during their playoff run was a good experience for Bobby Brink. And I think it was good that he was able to re-sign for the team. Igor Zamula re-signed for the team as well. I think he started to make a name for himself last year by playing more and more and more and getting more ice time, and by being more of a regular defender out there as well. So he also signed his tenured offer as well. So those were some good moves that I felt that what the Flyers did in free agency. The other move they made in free agency was they re-signed Garnet Hathaway, which that's kind of another dome scratcher. You didn't need to re-sign him just yet. He still had one more year left on his deal. You bought out Cam Atkinson, so now you've got another $3.5 million of dead cap space money.
Yep.
So your your dead cap space money is far outweighed the amount of money that you need to spend to keep the guys on your team. What are you doing? I thought you were supposed to be this brilliant mind that went to, all this schooling and everything to figure all this stuff out, and you just keep digging yourself a deeper hole. And you just keep kicking things down the road. You're kicking the can down the road. That, to me, is not how you run things. So I've been really happy with everything up until June 24th, 2024. I very much disagreed with what was going on with the draft, but hey, that's my opinion. I see things from a different perspective, and I'm clearly not there and clearly not seeing what they're seeing. So that's what I got to say about that.
So something else is happening this summer.
Yes, something else is happening this summer. Let's talk about something good. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay. Since, look, I don't have a problem with the Flyers at all. I'm very excited about the training camp coming up. I'm very excited about this coming season. I really like the direction that Tortorella has got this team going in. I'm a little disappointed that Rocky Thompson is still the coach, honestly, that he's still doing the power play. But hey, what do I know? At least they could have hired Stahl. Instead of re-signing him, they could have maybe hired him as the power play guy, because at least he's been on some power plays.
Well,
At least he scored some power play goals. At least. Anyway. So, but enough about that. Let's start talking about something that's going to take the world by attention here in the next few days, and will last for quite a few days, and that's going to be the Paris Olympic Games. The summer games are happening in Paris, and they start in July and end in mid-August, and we get about 14 odd days,
something like that, yeah,
of some
really
international
cool stuff, man.
International world talent, sports. We get to watch some great stuff, some swimming, some track and field, and all kinds of other great sports that, let's see how the United States can do and see what we can dominate with.
I'm looking forward to seeing Simone Biles again. Hopefully
Yes.
she makes it through this Olympics. I know she had some issues last time, so.
Yeah, she had some injuries, so
Well, she also had the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, she got a little. She had the
I forgot what they called it.
What do they call them? The yips.
Yeah, the yips. That's it.
Or whatever you.
But it was fair. She said, "Look, I can't do it. I'm gonna stop before I hurt myself."
And it takes a very intelligent person to understand what their limitations are. You know what I mean? So.
By the way, I'm sorry. This is another Simone Biles comment. But have you ever seen a picture of her with her boyfriend, the football player? It's like.
Oh, is he a football player?
Yeah.
Or is he like a soccer player or something?
I
don't
thought
know.
he was
Anyway,
a football.
but
Anyway,
yeah, he's a really tall dude. Maybe he's a basketball player. I don't know, but he's really tall. Well, okay. Gymnastics are inherently 4-foot nothings. Seriously.
Well, you have to have the,
You got to be a short and lean and strong body to do that, and most gymnasts are not known to be 6'1".
By the way,
at least female.
He's a safety for the Chicago Bears.
Okay, there you go. So he's a football player, safety
Right.
for the Chicago Bears, and he's how tall? 6 foot.
It doesn't say. I didn't.
4,
look that
6'3", something like that, right? So
Yeah.
Okay. So there. So, but yeah, very interesting. Hope to see her do well and hope to see.
I hope the whole team does well. It's just
hope the United States does well. Rah rah, we're down for the United States team.
Need something good to root for.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good things to root for coming up here, especially with training camp starting. There's a lot of good things to root for here when it comes to Formula One racing. There's a lot of great baseball that's going on out there now. Sorry. The All-Star break is now completed, and teams are getting back into the swing. And how about them Phillies playing really well and fighting it out for first place? So go Phils, man. All right. That's good. We like to see that.
We're getting close to something else that should be starting soon.
We're going to have training camp in about just about a month for hockey. We'll have training camp for that. A lot of the like AHL, ECHL, BCHL, a lot of those leagues are going to be starting up here at the beginning of September. So their training camps are going to be coming up here real shortly. So really, really, really excited to see some of those. Man, can't wait to see some of the great youth hockey movement that's coming and that's going to be this year, because there's going to be a lot of great players that are going to be drafted in the 2025 draft. So looking forward to some of that. I'm looking forward to the Olympics that are going to be starting here real soon, the next couple of days here in July.
What's going to happen August 31st? Do you know what happens August 31st? I bet you don't know what happens August 31st.
Enlighten me.
The first Penn State game of the season versus West Virginia.
And there you have it. So that means that in 40 days, 40 days, Penn State football. Oh, snap. So we'll get into some of that in the next show, because there was some things that, happened, some coaching changes and stuff. We'll get into that in the next show. But thank you, Ronice, for another great show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep. And thank you, folks out there, for tuning in and checking us out. All you have to do is go to one of your favorite podcasting platforms, type in SteelFlyers Podcast, and our name will come up, and all you have to do is give us a 5-star rating and hit a like and a subscribe, and we'd really appreciate that. We also thank you all very much for tuning in to the website and going to the website and checking that out, man, because we're really excited about all the views and all the clicks and the visits from you folks out there, man. Really appreciate that. So go over to SteelFlyers.com. Check out all the great shows from the Hockey Writers Inc., Prospect Watch, the Nittany Report, and this here show too, the SteelFlyers Podcast. So thank you all very much for tuning in to the SteelFlyers Podcast. Just remember, folks, stay safe, stay strong, and hang tough.